नित्यानन्देश्वर समारम्भां नित्यानन्देश्वरि मध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. I welcome all of you with my love and respects. I welcome all the devotees, disciples, samajis, satsangis, Srimahans, Mahans, Tanedar, Kotari, visitors, viewers, everyone sitting with us all over the world through Nithyananda TV, Sadhana TV, two-way video conferencing, having Nayanadiksha, cities sitting with us in two-way video conferencing, having Nayanadiksha, Houston Adinam, Singapore Adinam, Puduvai Adinam, Tallahassee, China, Guptakashi, Tobago, Trinidad Tobago, Indrani, New Jersey, Ohio Adinam, Oklahoma Adinam, Los Angeles Adinam, Kuala Lumpur Adinam, Vancouver Bhubaneswar, Oman Adinam, Toronto Adinam, Temple City, California, and Guadalupe Adinam, San Jose Adinam, and some more cities joining. I welcome all of you with my love and respects. Today, the third day of Meenakshi Brahmotsavam, the celebrations are continuing. Mahadeva is gracing in the Sarvalankara. The crown he is wearing is called Semmadu Kridam. This is the crown he was wearing. This is the way his headgear was when he came to carry sand for the sake of Vandi's idli. It's called Semmadu Kridam. And Meenakshi is gracing on Swarna Gajavahana, the golden elephant vehicle with the crown called Mambala Kondai Kridam. The crown looks like a mango. So, these are traditional alankaras done in Vedic temples. Today, Meenakshi is gracing on golden elephant vehicle, blessing all of us. Let's receive her blessings and grace first. I'll continue to expand on the 9th verse of Ishavasya Upanishad. Please recite along with me. Andhaṁ tamaḥ praviśanti ye avidyāṁ upāsate tato bhūya ivate tamaḥ yavu vidyāyāṁ ratāః. Recite loudly. Andhaṁ tamaḥ praviśanti ye avidyāṁ upāsate tato bhūya ivate tamaḥ yavu vidyayam rataha. Yes. Now listen. Those who worship avidya, the ignorance that veils the true knowledge of truth, consciousness, enter into blinding darkness characterized by the absence of perception. But into greater darkness of ignorance than that enter they who, considering themselves as scholarly and learned, are engaged in vidya, the incomplete knowledge acquired for vested interests, characterized by the impure perception of truth, consciousness. Listen. These two concepts you need to understand. One, those who worship ignorance, the initial level seekers, get into a kind of a tiredness, boredom, unable to move further. Don't care attitude about ignorance. This is one group. There is another group, little advanced level seekers, but after a certain amount of time, listen, please listen, when you spend time with certain concepts and don't align your life to those concepts, you will feel acquaintance with that concepts intellectually but not experientially. Familiarity always breeds contempt. Even with the idea, you are the consciousness. If you are acquainted, means if you are having exposure to that idea, you are thinking about it quite a long time, but you never made that as your cognition. You never transformed your life. You never aligned your life to the truth. Then slowly, you think what you are living, what you are doing is much better than common men, normal people who don't even know that they are consciousness. So with this justification, the worship of imperfect knowledge, the incomplete knowledge starts. The danger is, by now you know how to manipulate others, how to be a half guru. All your neighborhood gurus are formed like this only. Each neighbor would have one guru. In India, each street will have one Jagat Guru. You can ask him, why are you calling yourself as Jagat Guru? Now I have one disciple, I named him as Jagat. So I am Guru of the Jagat, so I am Jagat Guru. Listen, all your neighborhood gurus are in this space, in this mood. Please understand. The impure perception of truth, consciousness, incomplete knowledge, which is the problem of advanced seekers, is more dangerous than the initial level problem of initial level seekers, which is the don't care attitude towards ignorance or tiredness and boredom. So these advanced level seekers who worship knowledge but which is incomplete, they won't have tiredness, boredom and all. They will be very active, but in the wrong direction. Enjoy knowledge for the sake of knowledge. Celebrate knowledge for the sake of knowledge. Celebrate power and energy for the sake of power and energy. Don't use power to manipulate others. Don't use knowledge to make money. Please understand. I am not saying don't accept salary for your contribution. I am not saying don't earn for your livelihood. All I am saying, mentally don't have the disease of equating your knowledge to wealth. It's a mental disorder. Please understand. Actually, I was planning to write a book. As per the cosmic law, what all is a mental disorder and physical disorder. Most of your physical disorders are not at all disorder in cosmic law. Most of your mental disorders are not at all disorders in cosmic law. Actual disorders, still your psychiatrist, your mental disorder field, doctors, researchers are not even able to smell. Your researchers, scientists, still not even able to smell what is the real mental disorders. Psychological disorders. One of the biggest mental disorder is unable to sit with yourself. Understand. Just learning the concept, not making it as part of your cognition, is the most dangerous. I'll tell you a story from one of the great master, architect of Hinduism. Today, whatever you know as Hinduism is there the way it is, available the way it is, only because of one person who is born today, Adi Shankaracharya. Today is 1227th birth anniversary of Adi Shankaracharya. There was a beautiful incident in his life. One day he was walking with his disciples, his Stalayatra. Suddenly he felt thirsty and no water was found in that area. Only one guy was having a village arak. You call it todi. Shankaracharya went straight to that villager and said, "Can you give me a little? I am feeling thirsty." The villager readily agreed and he drank. The disciples could not understand. What is this? Acharya. Then they decided, when you can drink, why not us? They also drank. After that, Shankaracharya was walking very steadily, stably, but not these disciples. Now Acharya thought, this is the time that we need to educate these fellows. And he also need to show the difference between the people who made I am the consciousness as a cognition and I am the consciousness as an acquired acquaintance, not cognition. So after some time, maybe a few days later, again he felt very thirsty. Looked around, no water source, not even a village Arak. Only one guy was melting iron and pouring into the mold, the metal workshop. He walked straight into the workshop and asked that guy, "Can you give me little?" That fellow was shocked. Asked why? "No, you don't bother about that." He asked him to pour the whole metal on his hand and just drank, like how he will drink a cold water from the well or a lake. And then he just looked back. The disciples' eyes have already came out. And he just told them, "Please drink." That's all. They were all shaken. Shankara just made only one statement. Why? You guys can follow when I was drinking arak. Why not now? Of course, neither disciples drank, nor Acharya forced them to drink. Understand the truth. The moral of the story, acquaintance, just hearing these words, not making it as part of your cognition, will make you feel, will give you pseudo satisfaction as if you know it is truth. That's the most dangerous. Please listen. That is why I tell you, before initiation, the disciple need to be prepared. The moment you are initiated, you should just follow the truth. Pain is such self-destructive mechanism, will not allow you to reinvent yourself with any new concepts and strategies. Please understand. All the spiritual truths expressed in these Upanishads, like you are the consciousness, you are untouched, never come and go, you are the source of action, result, all these are highest possible strategies for your life. Knowing them, but not living them, knowing them, but not living them. Listen. Knowing them, but not living them. Makes you feel that as if you are already living them. That is what is incomplete knowledge. Listen. That is what is incomplete knowledge. How much ever you may know about yoga, unless you do, you won't have the result. How much ever you may know about swimming, unless you start swimming, you will not have the result. How much ever you may know about surgery, unless you do it, you don't know what it is. Please listen. Knowing but not doing. The non-practice. That's the most difficult mental setup. Once you acquire that, your whole life is gone. Please understand. Listening to the concept but not living them. Listening to the truths but not living them is the most dangerous. That is the most dangerous. Because once that mental setup comes to you, anything, you know how to brush it aside. Like if you watch a advertisement in the TV, call now, call now, call now, how you don't even care and just change the channel, you will develop the same attitude even towards Upanishads. When Upanishads say, you are consciousness, you are consciousness, you are consciousness, start living. Actually, by 9th verse, Upanishads are raising their pitch. And literally now they are saying, call now, call now, call now. Don't get doomed. Andhaṁ tamaḥ praviśanti ye avidyām upāsate tato bhūya yivate tamaḥ hyahu vidyāyām vratāha. Listen, if you know, if you develop the attitude of inaction in the face of spiritual truths, inaction in the face of spiritual truths, then nothing can help you reinvent yourself. Please understand, each of the lines of Upanishads, whatever Upanishads are saying, it's a spiritual strategy to reinvent yourself. But if you think I'll attend all the sessions, classes and learn all the strategies, but I don't need to do anything because I know I am consciousness for last 2003 onwards. When Swamiji took first ASP in Malaysia, I attended that. And when Swamiji came first time to New Jersey, I attended his ASP. From that time I know I am consciousness. When Swamiji came to Paris in 2004, that time I attended his program. From then onwards I know I am consciousness. Then you are just doing avidyām upāsate, worshipping the ignorance. You are stupid. Please understand, see, pains in the life makes part of you stagnant constantly. Stagnation is the residue of pain. Being stagnant, feeling stuck, is the hangover of pains in the life, which happens constantly till you become enlightened. So the one and only solution is reinventing yourself and re-strategizing yourself constantly. Constantly. Please understand. When you are driven by your greed or fear, constantly you will reinvent yourself. If you are in love with a girl, how constantly you will reinvent yourself to demonstrate your love to her or impress her. If you are afraid of your wife, how constantly you will reinvent yourself to save yourself from her or escape from her. When the fear and greed is there, how constantly you reinvent yourself. Re-strategize yourself. Do that same out of inspiration or the great truths from Upanishads. Do the same. Reinventing and re-strategizing based on Upanishadic principles, constantly listen. For example, now Upanishads are saying, all the incomplete knowledge which you learned but never made it as experience makes you fall into hell. Immediately sit and start scanning sincerely what all concepts you just heard them, never made them into experience. Start scanning. Don't say, I am consciousness. I heard in 2004 when Swamiji came to Paris. From that time I know it. But so many times you denied living that truth, I am consciousness. But denying and living has become a lifestyle in you now. And you say, see, I did not live that I am consciousness because that time my divorce was going on. I decided that after my divorce, I'll rest and relax in peace and live, radiate I am consciousness. Till then I need certain amount of vengeance and anger to fight with my husband and grab the custody of the child and swindle as much as I can. So that time I can't practice any spirituality. I postponed it. Now I think I can. But when you postponed, second time when you look, you will find already the postponing has become pattern in you. That is why I am telling you, any spiritual truth, the moment you hear, listen from the master, it has to be implicated. If not, it will never be implicated. If you don't make it as your cognition by today's sunset, it is not useful for you. Forget about it. And you will develop a wrong pattern of listening but not living. Don't do that. That is Atmahana, saying no to life. Saying no to life. Stupid are those. Fools are those. Cursed are those. Idiots are those who listen to the great truths but does not make them as their cognition. If you have postponed the spiritual truths in your life without letting them become your cognition, parts of you have already frozen. It has become dead. Now today, the today's Vakyartha Sadas is melting all those parts which has become dead, frozen, and re-strategizing your whole life with the truth I am consciousness means not being pushed by stupid fears, stupid greed, being pushed only by tremendous joy, inspiration, happiness and bliss, fulfillment, completion. If your fuel is only completion and inspiration, you are blessed. Reinventing yourself, re-strategizing your life, reinventing yourself, re-strategizing yourself, discovering through you, making you flow more and more, making you alive more and more, breaking the parts of you which is frozen, making parts of you which is frozen into alive again. I am telling you, all tiredness, all boredom is nothing but frozen pains in your muscle memory. The only way to break the ice, the frozen pains, is re-strategizing yourself. Seeking should be the frying pan for the enlightenment dosa, which has become very popular from yesterday in our Sangha. I thought if nobody is listening to the spiritual teachings I am giving, at least I will start a dosa shop and sell enlightenment through dosas. That is my new strategy. The enlightenment dosas. Seeking should be the frying pan for pouring your being and re-strategizing, reinventing. Today again sit what all the decisions and strategies you can do, make based on the truth, I am consciousness, and re-strategize your life and reinvent yourself. Reinventing you means re-strategizing your life. Re-strategizing your life means reinventing you. So understand, not re-strategizing is not only not good but dangerous. Today's subject for Vakyartha Sadas, for all satsangis, how to reinvent yourself, re-strategize your life based on this one truth: you are the consciousness as defined by Upanishad, Ishavasya Upanishad. Because if you start internalizing yourself as consciousness as defined by the Ishavasya Upanishad, you are actually in the highest possible space. Super consciousness. West always they have the habit of conscious, super conscious, supra-conscious. I don't want to use all those words. Supra, great super, large super size, all that. So as defined by Upanishads, if you start cognizing you are in the highest possible consciousness. So reinventing yourself and re-strategizing yourself based on what Upanishads declare you as you is the subject for Vakyartha Sadas today. Some of you may be aware, today I have Nitya Kriya Yoga program starting in the ashram. Next 4 days. So it's a celebration. Before entering into this next segment of the morning satsang, there is a question: how can I make my intellectual understanding to my cognition? 1, do this Vakyartha Sadas. 2, even after the Vakyartha Sadas, if you are not able to make it, come to Varanasi. That's all. You try. If you made it, great. If you feel it's not happening, then come, I'll do it. somebody is asking if my karma is to be born again and again, can coming to Varanasi or leaving the body in Varanasi override it? Yes. If you are not even allowed to come to Varanasi, something happens and you are not able to make it, then understand your karma is to be born again and again. If you are able to make it to Varanasi, then your karma is over. Your karma is over. Because liberating anybody in Varanasi is dharma of Mahadeva. In front of dharma of Mahadeva, your karma can't find a place. It can't find a place. I bless you all. Let you all radiate with integrity, authenticity, responsibility, enriching, causing, living Advaita, the eternal bliss, Nithyananda. Thank you. Be blissful.
Nithyananda Dhyanapītam, Nithyananda Nagar, off Mysore Road, Bidadi, Bengaluru. Phone 08027279999. www.nithyananda.org. www.youtube.com/lifeblissfoundation.